Year 3. This is your English video for today, part 2. Now, as always, we've got the date and the yellow both on the board. Today, it is Thursday, the 14th of January, 2021, and we are going to explore, identify, and create sentences using conjunctions. But what I'd like to do, first of all, I'd like to think about what are conjunctions. So, just with your grown-ups or your brothers or sisters, just have a think about all the different conjunctions and what they could be. You've just got a minute, off you go. So we know that a conjunction is a word that can join two parts of a sentence together. So we have conjunctions to help us build those sentences up. Now, the first one that everyone always goes for is and. Now, sometimes we can just use and, but also it can come across a little bit boring. So let's try another one. We've got and. We could also use next. Any more we can think of? We could have because. We could also have so. Then there's but and before. And then if. Oh, and I've just said one then. So these are some conjunctions we can use. What I do now is I pause the video and I write down these conjunctions because you're going to be needing them later on when you're doing your English activity. Right, now what we're going to quickly look at, we are going to look at my sentence here. Now it says, Barney was a caring and gentle boy who cared a lot for Stig. Now, remember in class the other week, just before Christmas, we were looking at main clauses and subordinate clauses. Now, a main clause is a sentence that makes sense on its own, but a subordinate clause is that little bit of information that adds that more detail, but it doesn't make sense on its own. So what I'd like you to do, have a look at this sentence. Barney was a caring and gentle boy who cared a lot for Stig. So, which part do you think is the main clause, the one that makes sense on its own? Have a look. If you said the first part here, Barney was a caring and gentle boy, that is the main clause because that makes sense on its own. Whereas if we had the sentence, who cared a lot for Stig, that doesn't make sense on its own. That is that extra bit of information that gives you a little bit more detail, and that is the subordinate clause. Now, what we're going to look at today, we are going to be looking at a picture. Now, this is a super exciting picture. Who do you think this character might be? Miss Dunn has found, believe it or not, the real life Stig. How amazing is that? Now, this is Stig, and I don't know if you can notice or realise, but he's munching on something there. What do you think he might be eating? He's eating a carrot, just like he did in our story. Now, we are going to come up with a sentence today, including a conjunction. So just having a look at all these conjunctions up here. So, and next, because, so, but, before, if or then. So we are going to come up with a sentence today based on Stig eating this carrot, but using a conjunction to make that sentence from a simple sentence to a complex sentence. So let's add a text box. Are we ready, superstars? There we go. Right, so what could we start off with? Turn to your grown-ups, your partners, your parents. What could we start our sentence off with? Thinking about what he's doing. So, Miss Dunn's idea was Stig was munching on a delicious, juicy carrot. Now, if you look at Miss Dunn's sentence there, Stig was munching on a delicious, juicy carrot. What can you see that I've included there? Well, I've included my expanded noun phrase, haven't I? Delicious, juicy, carrot. Carrot being my noun, delicious, can't speak, delicious and juicy being my adjectives, my describing words. So Stig was munching on a delicious juicy carrot, and I'm going to put a full stop there just to show you that it makes sense just as a sentence like that. But I am going to expand it. I'm going to make it that little bit bigger. So let's have a look. Let's go all the way up to the top again, and let's have a look at those conjunctions. Now, what conjunction could I use? Now, we've got to remember it needs to make sense. What conjunction could I use? Let's have a look. I think because would fit in perfectly, don't you? Let's go down then. Let's go down. We need to get rid of my full stop and let's write because. So Stig was munching on a delicious juicy carrot because he was feeling rather hungry. And there we have it. There is our sentence. We've got our expanded noun phrase there. We've got our contraction. Let's underline our contraction just to show that we know where it is. And I've got my capital letters at the beginning of the sentence, especially for a name, and a full stop. So that is what we are doing today, year 3. Now, Miss Dunn's done this picture here with you. You have 3 more pictures to have a go at. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to get the pictures. You don't need to draw them. You don't need to print them. You can do if you want to, but I'd like to really think about what's happening in each picture. In this picture, Stig has just lit a match. Okay, he's just struck that match. In this one, Barney and Stig are around the fire and Stig has an axe. What's going on there? And in this one, Stig and Barney is in the cave. Barney is on the floor and his feet are all tangled up and Stig is trying to get him out, try and set him free. Okay, if there's any problems, please let me know, superstars, and I will help the best way I can. Okay, see you soon.